John, what's your date of birth?
2/1/27.
Where were you born?
Angola.
And what did your dad do for a living?
My dad worked on the railroad too. He was on track department, and I was on the signal department.
Ah. So when you were growing up in Angola, he was a railroad guy.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And what'd your mom do? She just stayed home?
She was a good wife.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. How many siblings did you have?
6 boys, 2 girls, and a set of twins, but they passed away at birth.
At birth, yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, we had a chance to interview one of those, Angelo.
Yeah.
Yeah. A few years ago.
And I went to school in Brockton.
Brockton?
Yeah.
They're both the elementary and stuff?
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And did you also, so you graduated from high school here?
Yeah. Well, I went in the Navy, and I quit school, and after I went back to finish high school.
Do you remember December 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor Day?
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy.
Yes, I do, just vaguely, you know. Things like that didn't, you know, didn't bother me, but I had a lot of friends and stuff like that. So I just remember vaguely. Of course, I had 6 brothers that was all in the service.
Wow. And so how did your mom and dad react to having your entire family in the service?
I'll tell you, it was, when it broke out, my mother was a nervous wreck.
You drafted or did you enlist?
No, I enlisted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that would have been about 1945.
That's correct. About there, somewhere around there, yes.
So the war probably was coming to an end.
That's right.
Did you remember where you went to boot camp?
Sampson.
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 And how long were you there at Sampson?
I think I was there probably about 2 months.
Right.
And then I got assigned on the aircraft carrier, Franklin D. Roosevelt, to be in the Atlantic.
Atlantic, okay.
Yeah. Well, I was a cook.
A cook. Perfect.
Yeah. I was a cook, yeah.
So when you were at home in the old days with your mom, did you work with your mom to learn how to cook?
No, I picked it up now and then like that.
So in the service you picked it up?
That's right. Because they asked me what I wanted to do. What kind of a trade. I said, gee, I don't know. I says, put me in the galley.
VJ Day would have occurred probably while you were in training.
That's right.
Do you remember any celebrations on the boat? Or?
Yeah, there was a lot of celebration now that you mentioned it. There was a lot of, you know, I think I was in New York at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a nice, good time.
Did you celebrate by drinking a lot and carrying on?
Well, you know, when I was that young, but there was a lot of drinking.
I bet.
Yeah, there was a lot of drinking. I got off at Cuba. They let us run around. It wasn't too long. I went to Rio de Janeiro,
Mm-hmm.
and that's about it, see? But I was a short. Didn't have too much entertainment. What I know was that it was a good experience. And after that, I got discharged from Lido Beach.
So when you came home from the service, your mother must have been relieved because you were the last one.
Oh, I had one more.
One more went to service?
Yeah, one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was kind of relieved, you know, because I had two brothers in the Army and the rest were in the Navy.
Did they talk about their experiences to you?
Not really. Not really. I remember one time when I was in, one of my other brothers came and see me while I was still in boot camp, and he was getting ready to get out, you know, and he told me different stories, you know, not to do this, not to do that. And so I listened to him.
Yeah.
But it was a nice experience. I know I became a man.
In what sense?
Trying to be a good guy and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. Were there any black Navy people on your ship?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Our there was a lot. There was the cooks.
Yeah.
There was quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that principally what they did as cooks or stevedores or something like that?
Right.
Then you came home, and then what'd you do for a living, John?
Well, I went back to school first thing
In Brockton.
in Brockton.
When did you work on the railroad? When did you start that?
I started in 47.
47? Okay.
Yeah.
And you worked there 30-some years, didn't you?
Almost 30 years. Not quite 29 years and
Yeah.
somewhere around there. We've been married now 70 some years,
Oh my gosh, congratulations.
and
How did you guys meet?
how? I was on the railroad in Ripley, New York. There was a depot there, if you ever know the Ripley area. And I see this girl across the street, or I don't know where the heck I was. And I kept looking at her and looking at her. And she came over. I introduced myself. And we started going for dates and all that. That was nice.
Did you have to ask her father for permission?
Oh, yeah. In fact, this table here was a big, long table. And we invited her and her mother and father for a dinner, spaghetti dinner. And then that's when I asked, she approved of it, and history was there.
Oh, that's terrific. I really appreciate you taking the time to let me come in the house and talk to you.
Oh, it was nice. It was an honor.